So last week, my boyfriend's grandfather passed, and just 4 months prior, we were attending his grandmother's funeral. And his grandparents are the ones that raised him. So during this period, he's been trying to figure out how to grieve because this is his first time losing someone that is close to him. And I've been trying to figure out how to support a grieving person. So we spent the weekend reflecting over life and expressing gratitude for the wisdom that they gave us during their lifetime. And we recognize that our awareness of life has become even more prominent now. So I wanted to make a video based on a few of my reflections and things that I learned in my early 20s, because honestly, this time period has been the most transformative. Your early 20s is when a lot of your innocence gets stripped away. I still have a lot to learn. I know that we did not start off in the most happiest way, so I am going to up my energy and get excited about this. So I just want to say that there's a clear distinction between your early 20s and like your late early 20s. So you have your early 20s when you are in college, and life in college is much different than life outside of college. So some of these tips are going to be for while you are in college, and then some of them are going to be for after. So you'll be able to distinguish which is which, but I just wanted to give that disclaimer. Also, I would stick around for lesson number 20 because it is something that I apply in my everyday life and something that I constantly remind my boyfriend and my other friends that are in their 20-somethings. Number 1, obviously for my college folks, grades are not that important, so stop trying to be perfect. Now, I have had many jobs in my 24 years of living, and I promise you, nobody cared about my GPA. I graduated summa cum laude in one of the hardest majors at one of the hardest schools in the country, and nobody cares. I worked my butt off day and night to get that 3.8 GPA, and I promise you, no one has asked about it since I crossed that stage in May of 2019. I mean, of course, grades are important to keep your scholarship. Keep your grades above the average that you need to keep your scholarships and get your money. However, outside of that, thinking that your GPA is going to get you a job is just baloney. What you should be focusing on is networking with as many people as possible, which is number 2. Network. If I could go back and do college all over again, then I would focus solely on meeting as many people as I possibly can and making as many connections as I possibly can. Because every opportunity, every door that has opened for me is because I knew somebody who knew somebody. People care way more about relationships than they do about what you know. All right, number 3, your finances don't have to be perfect, but they have to be something. I was one that avoided looking at my bank account all of the time. Every time I swipe my card, I am living on a prayer. But I've gotten into the habit of doing my budget at the beginning of every month and constantly checking my bank account and tracking my spending so that I know what's going on. No, I'm not always on my budget. No, my budget's not always perfect. Yes, I decide to go on trips. Yes, random expenses pop up out of nowhere. But at least I have an idea of how I am straying from my budget instead of just guessing. No, I'm not saying that you have to be super frugal. Of course, learn how to balance work and play. But I'm saying that you have to know what the heck is happening. The longer you wait to get a hold of your finances, the harder it will be to clean up your crap later on. Also, in talking about balance, you have to do something other than go to work and school, which is number 4. Yes, work and school are important, arguably, but what's more important is doing something with your life. Join an organization, pick up a side hustle that you enjoy, start a business, get a hobby. I've met so many adults without hobbies, and it really takes away from the life experience. Of course, you're not going to enjoy life if all you see it as is just a bunch of work. Find things that you really enjoy to do, people that you enjoy being around, and go out and create more experiences. You do not want to look back on your 20s and be like, dang, I did not do anything. Number 5, and this might hurt a few people's feelings, but that job. Look, at the end of the day, your boss does not care about you. So you have to watch after you, because they're not. At the end of the day, Their job and their family mean more to them than your job and your stability. They may quote unquote love you, but they don't care about your mental health. They don't care about what you got going on as long as you show up to work. You could be dying and they still need you to show up to work, because at the end of the day, the work needs to get done. And know that it's not me saying that you should break your back for a job. That is far from the truth. If you are unhappy with your job, if your job is forcing you to compromise your health and your peace and your well-being. Number 6, you are allowed to change your mind. Now, it is your early 20s. You have no idea what you want to do with the rest of your life for real. You don't know who you want to be with for the rest of your life, really. And you don't really know yourself enough to make those decisions, to be honest. So yes, you are allowed to change your mind about things. Like I said before, I've had so many different jobs, so many different friends, so many different things that I started and then did not finish, so many hobbies that I tried and then recognized that I did not like them, so many people that I befriended just to never talk to them again. That's part of figuring it out. You are allowed to change your mind about things, but at least you tried it so that you can get to know yourself and what you like. Number 7, that is a 6. Number 7, it is okay to not know what the is going on. Nobody knows what's really going on. Social media may lie to you and make it look like people know what's going on and that they have it all together. Nobody knows what they're doing. Everybody is making things up. Because life, your early 20s, all of it, honestly, is about making it up. There is no rule book to life. There's no right way to do things. There's no wrong way to do things. You just do things according to what you desire out of this life. You make decisions based on what you value. That's what you do. So number 7.5, stop looking to other people to make decisions for your life. This is your life. You get to make it up. There is no right or wrong way, so just do what you want. Of course, there's always consequences to your decisions. However, the consequence of following other people's ideals for what they want out of their lives is that you don't get to live your own freaking life. So stop putting other people on a pedestal like they have everything figured out, because they don't. It's just that they're confident in their own ability to make decisions, which you should be confident too. Number 8, don't waste time being afraid. One of my favorite quotes is, do it scared. Look, entrepreneurship is scary. Me starting this YouTube channel is scary. Half of the crap that I do on a day-to-day basis, I am absolutely terrified of doing. However, I have to do it in order to get what I freaking want out of life. Honestly, what's the worst that can happen? I fail? Is that really failure? Because I've learned something from it and I can pivot and do something else. I could go back to a job if I want to. I can do whatever I want from that point. But if I don't even start, then how will I even know? So if you're afraid of doing something right now, let that crap go and just freaking do it. Do it scared. Who cares? It's life. Just freaking do it. It's your 20s. It is your early 20s. You have all the time in the world to clean up all the mistakes that you make. So just make some freaking mistakes. Number 9, try a bunch of stuff, including drugs. Now, before you think that I've just lost complete credibility and before you shoot that down, just listen for a second. Your early 20s is just for experimenting and trying a bunch of different stuff out. It's for making mistakes. It's for doing stupid things, because once you have a family, then you have people that are relying on you. But right now, do it all. I'm gonna be honest, for a lot of my early 20s, I was a pothead. But it taught me a lot about balance and controlling my emotions and not using outside resources in order to tame my inner self. And during the time that I needed it, it gave me a lot of peace. And I've also tried other things, but I just want to say, if you're gonna try drugs, soft ones, not hard ones. Hard ones are the ones that F up your life. And outside of drugs, of course, the things that you're afraid of doing, the experiences that you think are just super stupid or just out of your comfort zone, go do them, because you never know what you may like, okay? Number 10, be honest with yourself and others. Now, I've gotten myself into so much trouble and I've hurt so many people because I was not honest with myself. You honestly might be an honest person to other people and want to speak your mind towards other people, but if you are not honest with yourself, if you're lying to yourself about how you truly feel and what you truly think about something, then how in the world can you be honest with other people? To add on to that, number 11, do what you want in dating, but just be honest about it. If you want to mess around with a bunch of different people, be honest about it. If you just want casual sex out of somebody, be honest about it. If you genuinely want a relationship with somebody, be honest about it. What is the point of wasting time with someone who does not want the same thing that you want? And you have to accept that you cannot have things out of people that they don't want to give to you. So stop manipulating people into getting what you want. If they don't want to have sex with you outside of a relationship, then freaking respect that. Why would you hurt that human being on your own selfish desires? That is going to bite you in the butt later, because karma is a thing. You're going to hurt people, but intentionally and unintentionally hurting people are two different things. Intentionally hurting somebody is on you. That is your heart thing. That says something about who you are and what you value as a person. But unintentionally hurting somebody means that you were just trying to figure things out and that you did not know what you did not know. Leading into number 12. Sometimes it's going to hurt, but it has to. Sometimes you have to go through the pain in order to learn the lesson, in order to get what you need to out of that experience. If you go through life continually trying to avoid pain, then you're not going to learn anything. You're not going to grow. You're not going to get the things that you desire out of this life. So stop trying to avoid pain. Number 13, it is okay to be unintentionally toxic. Going back to intentionally and unintentionally hurting people. You do not know what you do not know. Therefore, if you end up being toxic because you don't know how to properly heal from the things that went on in your past, then that is okay. That does not mean avoid healing from the things in your past, but I'm saying sometimes you have to go through experiences with other people in order to heal. One thing that my counselor told to me that really stuck with me is that how do you know if you're truly healed unless you go out there and try? What she was talking about was my problems with codependency, and I spent a lot of time alone trying to figure out how to heal from my codependency. And I told her, hey, I think I'm healed. And she was like, how the heck would you know if you're healed from codependency if there's no one around for you to be codependent on? And she had a point. How do you know if you are toxic if there's no one around to check your blind spot? 14, gosh, geez. Learn how to control your emotions. Walking around here not knowing how to control the most vital piece of what it means to be human is absolutely unacceptable. There's no excuse for not having your emotions under control unless the excuse is I am in the process of learning how to control them. So you need to be doing something. I have videos on learning how to control your emotions. Go check them out. Go watch them. But you need to learn how to control your emotions because it is vital to being honest with yourself, to knowing yourself, and living an honest, respectful life with other people. I could go on a whole rant about that, so just go watch the video on how to control your emotions, okay? Number 15, get some counseling. And no, not all therapists are created equal. I've had some bad therapists, and they're probably not bad therapists to other people, but they were just not good therapists for where I was in my life. I recognize by going to a counselor that's better with dealing with people that are in crisis that I need a counselor that's more centered towards personal development, because that is not me anymore. I would literally pay to go to counseling sessions just for her to tell me, you seem all right, everything's good with you, because she's used to seeing people that are suicidal and depressed every single day, all day. Number 16, I'm running out of freaking fingers. Stop trying to force yourself to be somewhere that you don't want to be, with people that you don't want to be around, doing something that you don't want to do. Look, like I said, experiments, try out different things. However, once you figure out that you truly don't want to do something, or you truly don't like somebody, or you truly don't like a certain place, stop going. Don't be afraid to tell people no. I will be quick to tell my friends, no, I'm not doing that. I don't want to go there. I'm not. I would rather spend my time at home cuddled up with bae, or at home on my couch watching TV or working on something, then I'm just going to do that because that's what I freaking want to do. And again, sometimes I like to step outside of my box and go try new things. But once I already know what it's about, if I truly don't want to go, I don't want to go. Number 17, trust your ability to grind. Let me tell you, you do not know what you are capable of until you are in a place where you have to get crap done. So going back to not being afraid to do things, you have the ability to grind. You have more street smarts than you think that you do. You have more artistic ability, more ability to sell than you really think. Because if it came down to it, if you lost your job today and you had to go out there and find a way, you would find a way. So don't be afraid of being put in the predicament of having to find a way. So the reason why my boyfriend and I quit our job is because it puts us in this place where we have to grind. So we really have to stretch our abilities. We really have to get creative, and that is going to grow us even more into the people that we want to be. Number 18, actually set some goals that mean something. So don't just set little short-term goals like I want to graduate, I want to lose 10 pounds. Like, yes, those are great. Setting short-term goals are really great. But don't just set short-term goals that are just for the short term. Your short-term goals should link to your long-term goals. They should be stepping stones that get you to the long term. For example, one of my short-term goals is to reach 1,000 subscribers and 100,000 views in like a month. But the reason why that's a goal is because ultimately I want YouTube to fund my retirement. I want to be able to use my retirement in order to invest into other things like a rental car business and an Airbnb business so that I can have financial freedom from my family and actually settle down and travel the world and have kids. Like, they're all linked together. So it's not just I want to lose 10 pounds so that I can go to this party. No, it's I want to lose 10 pounds because I want to be a healthier self. Even after this party, I want to continue to be healthy so that I can be healthy for my kids and my family and long term and avoid illness and disease. So your goals should mean more than the short term, period. Number 19, this is such a good one. Fix your language. I am always telling my kids, I am a teacher, that they need to fix their language because they are always speaking negativity over themselves and others. Whatever you speak becomes your reality. So if you keep calling yourself stupid, guess what you are? Stupid. If you keep saying you're a terrible learner, guess what you are? A terrible learner. If you keep saying that you can't do something, and guess what? You can't do it. My boyfriend has been checking me for years now because can't is a cuss word in our household. It's gotten to a place where even want is a cuss word in our household. We don't want to do something. We are going to do something, period. Watch the way that you talk to yourself, because the way that you talk to yourself becomes your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind is responsible for your reality. I don't know if you believe in manifestation, but I'm sure you believe in prayer. I'm sure you believe in God. Asking you shall receive, right? So every time you keep speaking negativity over yourself, you are asking for it. You're asking for whatever you're talking about. All right, and finally, number 20. This is something that I tell myself, my boyfriend, my friends, other people. This is my motto of my life, and I need you to adopt it. The lesson is, them folks, those people, their opinion, what they want out of you. You are never going to get anywhere if you are concerned about other people's crap. You are never going to get anywhere if you are concerned what other people think, if you are concerned about hurting other people's feelings. Do you really want to spend the rest of your life dancing around other people instead of just living how the freak you want to? At the funeral that I just went to this past Friday, my boyfriend's grandfather was a pastor. And he was the pastor of a very, very traditional Black church. So at traditional old school Black churches, the women are supposed to wear dresses and stockings. And if you don't, people look at you like you are the biggest heathen on the face of the planet. But this is one of the first times that I was meeting my boyfriend's family, not his immediate family, but his family. And a big statement that I wanted to say is that I am myself. And y'all are going to accept me as me. If I think that what you guys are doing is a bunch of BS, then that's what I'm gonna do. You may think that that is disrespectful. However, I believe that judging people in the house of God is even more disrespectful. Argue with me if you want to, but I'm gonna live my life how I want to. So I walked in there in a jumpsuit, a one sleeve jumpsuit. And yes, I got looks, but at the end of the day, them folks, if there are people that are going to judge my character based on what I wear, then those are not people that are going to love me, because I'm going to do what I want regardless. I'm going to be myself regardless. I am not going to tiptoe around other people because they disagree with me. So if that's what you've been doing, cut that out. That is not cool. You are never going to be free from the chains of other people's opinions if you do not learn that they do not matter. What matters more than other people is you, yourself. Other people are always going to watch out for themselves, therefore you have to watch out for yourself, period. So those are the 20 lessons that I've learned in my early 20s, and there are probably more, and there will probably be more later on down the line, but we'll get there when we get there. But like I said, I'm always growing and learning and receiving wisdom, so you should go ahead and subscribe, turn on those notifications, like, comment, share. If you want to share some of your own wisdom to the other people that are watching that are in their 20-somethings, go ahead and drop that down below. I would love for you to add into the conversation. If you have any questions or other video ideas, feel free to drop them down in the comments below. But that is all from me today. Let me just go ahead and get out of here and head to this job. I love you, and I'll catch you next time.